Rare historical photos you haven't seen before. Queen Elizabeth working as a mechanic during World War II. British military equipment disguised as elephants in World War II. An Egyptian street vendor sells mummies in 1865. Japanese anti-British propaganda, 1941. Nintendo's first headquarters in Kyoto, Japan, 1889. In 1969, when black Americans were still prevented from swimming alongside whites, Mr. Rogers decided to invite Officer Clemens to join him and cool his feet in a pool. Rasputin and his followers, 1914. Colorized photo of Russian peasant girls, 1909. Swimmer Annette Kellerman, in one of her famous one-piece swimsuits that she was arrested for wearing in 1907. A mother and her child, both in gas masks, in 1941. A public urinal with 3 stalls in Paris, France, 1860s. Soldiers wearing gas masks while peeling onions, 1941. Bride leaving her recently bombed home to get married. Crazy things that were considered completely normal in the past. Racial segregation. Racial segregation was once an accepted part of life in many countries, especially in the United States, where separate but equal laws enforced segregation in public facilities like schools, buses, and restaurants. Corsets. In the 19th and early 20th centuries, women wore tight corsets to achieve a small waist, sometimes so tight it could cause damage to their internal organs. This was considered fashionable and desirable. Freak shows. People with disabilities or unusual physical features were exhibited in freak shows for public amusement during the 19th and early 20th centuries. Swallowing live goldfish. This bizarre trend started in United States colleges, where students competed to swallow as many live goldfish as possible. It was shocking at the time and remains a strange reminder of old college dares. Showering once a month. In the 18th and 19th centuries, it was common for people to bathe or shower only once a month. Frequent bathing. Rare photos you've never seen before. A ball of salt taken out of the Dead Sea. This is what a sunset in Antarctica looks like. A human skull with stage 1 bone cancer. A teeth with a very long roots. This is what a heart without blood looks like. A Lego brick from 1949 can still connect with a brand new Lego brick from 2025. A ball covered with the world's blackest paint. A wine vending machine which can be found on a German hiking route. The wedding rings of Holocaust victims. This is how the pyramids actually looked like. Camera pigeons were used before Google Earth. This is what grains of salt under microscope looks like. Penguin eggs' whites stay clear when boiled. This is a Japanese honey apple with a 100% honey core. A saltwater crocodile next to a human. An Olympian's hands after rowing in the Arctic. One of the most detailed images of Saturn. This was the size of turtles 10 million years ago. Maranjab Desert in Iran after snow. The eye of an electrician that was accidentally shocked by 14,000 volts. Historical photos you have never seen before. The Statue of Liberty being displayed at the Paris World's Fair, 1878. Queen Elizabeth II in her coronation gown. 2 tourists and a local man watching the sunset on top of one of the pyramids in 1925. Remains of a 500-year-old young girl found frozen on a mountain. Criminals hiding their faces during Al Capone's trial in 1931. John Lennon signing an autograph for the man who would kill him 5 hours later. A soldier from the United States Army receives a kiss from a liberated French child in 1945. Delivery of a dinosaur to the Museum of Science in 1984. Indigenous children forced to pray in a residential school managed by the Catholic Church. Princess Diana breaks the royal rules at a school event. Freddie Mercury and his ex-wife Mary Austin. Wilt Chamberlain, Arnold Schwarzenegger, and Andre the Giant in 1983. London's first black police officer. Mountain Chief translates a song into Native American Sign Language in 1970. Historical photos you have never seen before. Participants in the beautiful leg contest wear pillowcases over their heads so that the judges can see only their legs in 1951. A picnic at Los Angeles, California alligator farm. Visitors were allowed to mingle freely among alligators in the early 1900s. A photo of the bullet bra, the underwear trend in the 1940s. A photo of a young Queen Elizabeth II in 1932. Robin Williams signing autographs and telling stories at a homeless shelter in Boston in 1988. A promotional truck shaped like a coffee pot, used for advertising Gevalia coffee in Sweden in 1950. The tallest man who ever lived, Robert Wadlow, poses with his family in 1935. World's shortest man Major Might, and world's fattest woman Circa Barnum in 1922. Former slave holding a horn used to call slaves. Tippi Hedren with her pet tiger in 1982. The last photo of Nikola Tesla. The original color of the Eiffel Tower. Historical photos you have never seen before. These are members of the Fat Men's Club of New York 1904. Members had to be at least 200 pounds. Union prisoner of war after being released from Andersonville prison in 1865. The prisoner died shortly after this photo was taken. A 9-year-old boy from Amsterdam during the Dutch famine, better known as winter hunger, from 1944. 9-year-old Eunice Winstead with her 22-year-old husband, Charlie Johns, in Tennessee, 1937. Welsh woman washing her mine-working husband in 1931. A woman takes frozen laundry off the clothesline in the 1950s. Barack Obama waits backstage before taking the oath of office in 2009. A mother holds her son lovingly at the beach while posing for a picture. The child is Ted Bundy, who would grow up to be one of the worst serial killers in the world. In the 1930s, cars were designed with seats that reclined into convertible beds. Nancy Sinatra performing for the U.S. Army in Vietnam in 1967.